I'm wearing my jacket, but boss said I'm still too cold. Man, I fucked your bitch, she feel that from her head to toes. I need this guap, I couldn't care about my wrist and froze. Tryna hit that belly like home, and now your girlfriend wanna whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hello and welcome to Stay in Place, the podcast, episode 5. We are back with a bang. You know the vibes. I'm back with my co-host Jojo. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Nah, I'm not good.
Anything happened like recently that you wanna talk about?
Hey, bro. I want Mourinho out, man. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm
While we're on the topic of Mourinho, we might as well start the show off with the biggest game of the weekend. Spurs 1, Manchester United 3. What happened? Like, tell me. I'm just so happy right now. Like, obviously, I'm so happy that we got revenge on you guys, obviously, from the 6-1 back in October. But it's just a relief. And the performance itself, the second half performance, honestly, that was world class. Obviously, we started off really flat, and obviously the disallowed goal as well, which was atrocious in my opinion. Obviously, I want to hear your opinions on that. But yeah, what happened? What happened to you guys in the second half? Because obviously you started off well. It was a good team goal. But yeah, what's your outcome? Like, what do you think about the game?
No, firstly, I'll big you guys up. Like, you guys turn it up in the second half. Pogba turn it up. Cavani turn it up. Yeah, man. I don't know what Oli said to them at halftime, but you guys really turn it up. It's just been the story of our season, bro. Like, we'll score first, and then everything will just go downhill. We won't be able to keep our lead, and then yeah, man. Obviously, the quality really showed in the second half. That's one thing. The goals were really outstanding goals. But bro, like, it's just the theme of our season. It's boring now, like, and even I've said it from the Europa League game. That was it. It was done for me since then. It's the same recurring thing. I understand that obviously our players, they're not good enough, but I feel like another manager could get a tune out of these players. The way we're playing football is almost like when the final whistle went, I wasn't surprised. Like it didn't hit me as it would under Poch or something, or under another manager. It didn't really hit me. Like, yeah, we lost again. Like it was always coming. We scored the first goal and we couldn't. We failed to hang on to another lead. Did you see the Sky Sports statistics?
Yeah, I saw the statistics. Yeah,
bro. Before halftime, we're first, and bro, we're bottom of the league after halftime. Like, what's that down to? That's down to you. I only see it as down to the manager. We score our first goal and then we sit back. Negative football. We sit back and we consume pressure. And this game, yeah, I'll say within this game as well, yeah. We thought that obviously allowing you guys to have the ball like wouldn't be a big thing because like the way you play in recent games and stuff, but it weren't a good thing because playing Pogba in a forward role and then Cavani's movement and then obviously our lost the defending was just like all of that added together and the final result 3-1, man.
I mean, that's been the story of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Like in the last couple of seasons, like you guys are really like good, like starting the game, but then it's just about the concentration levels. You just can't seem to be seeing out a game like comfortably. And obviously going back to your point about the change of a manager, I understand where you're coming from, but still, you have Mourinho in charge, who has possibly the most like accomplished CV in the game at the moment, and obviously Pochettino, who you guys had before. Like, who do you actually see replacing Mourinho? Because I don't really see many like better managers than Mourinho out there who would like obviously come in and do a better job. But like, do you see like a perfect replacement for him, or like what is it? Do you think it's like you just need a change?
I feel like we definitely need a change, man, because I feel like Mourinho, like obviously, yeah, he's got a great CV, but his last 2 jobs, even at Man United, like I heard from Man United fans as well that like towards the end, like there was just no emotion, no passion for the game anymore. It's the same things happening. I feel like he's just a dinosaur. It's 2005 tactics. Like, and I feel like not even just 2005 tactics. I feel like with the best, like Mourinho's best from taking the team from second to the top. With the players that we have right now, like we're nowhere near. Like we're not. If you think about it, it's only Son and Kane. You take Son and Kane out of our team, I feel like we're just the average side. We're just a normal average side. You take both of them out of the team. So he can't, he's proven that he can't take our like top, like teams like us to the top. So I just feel like he's a dinosaur in football, and he continues to perceive with what he does. Right, which obviously has won him trophies wherever he's gone, but he hasn't really adapted to the new game. Like the football's changed. You get me? It's not 2005 anymore. Football's changed, and he hasn't got Carvalho and Terry at the back. This is Dyer, and every week he doesn't know his partnership. Like Dyer's missed 4 or 5 games, and all of a sudden he's back in it. Like he does just flipping and turning, and at the end of the day he'll come out in his press conference and say, my philosophy, I've won this, I've won that. It's always about him. You get me? I'm seeing through it now. After the Europa League game, I was done, man. Like all I can see is getting worse. And obviously we're in a cup final. I feel like obviously now we're in a cup final. Obviously sacking him now doesn't make sense. You might as well give him the cup final. I felt like back then it would have made sense because we still actually had the chance to get into the top 4. Now the top 4 is done. So sacking him now makes no sense. But and you said in terms of another manager, I would take Bielsa, you know. Like I would actually take Bielsa. I would actually take Bielsa at Tottenham still. I just like the attacking. He makes his players work, like Pochettino as well.
Yeah.
I think he makes his players work way more than Pochettino. I would take him right now because obviously you know, like he's adapted to the new game. I feel like Mourinho's a dinosaur, man.
He plays the high press game as well. Obviously, you see the like Leeds players at the end of the game. They're always just like really tired, like. And that's why they've like had so many injuries across like the season as well. But then obviously I understand your point and where you're coming from, but obviously at the start of the season when we first played you guys, like compared to how you guys were on Sunday, like it's a really big like difference, because at the start like you guys were like electric, like we just like no player could like stop you, like. And you're just like playing around United. But obviously, what does that actually come down to? Because that was October, now we're in April. Like, what does it come down to? Surely you should have momentum and surely you should be performing at that level throughout the whole season. But April times are usually when clubs like establish themselves. Like title winners usually have better performances in April than they have in October. So I feel like Tottenham's just like the opposite.
Yeah, like this is one of the reasons why it took me so long. Like there was Tottenham fans that were already Mourinho out, and I used to question them. I used to think like why are you Mourinho out like this? Like given what he's won and this and that. That's why it took me to that Europa game for me to be him out, because of the way we began the season. And I'm actually deep in it. The way we began the season, yeah, we sat deep and hit teams on the counter attack, like really deep and hit teams on counter attack, and it was working. But then when the turn of the year started to come and we actually started to like try, like obviously we do still sit deep but not as deep, and we actually like try to like play football, and like it's still not working, you get me? Like and then I just gave it so long, but then the Europa game, like come on Dynamo, you're going there with Tottenham, you should be walking out of there somehow to the next round, you get me? Once I saw that the hope was just gone, like, and I'm just like And I understand, obviously, I understand, do you know what it is? People argue, yeah, that maybe with his players, if he gets in the right players, so if you give him this transfer window and he gets in the right players, obviously the way we began games, because we're second, and he'll be able to change that like second half dreadfulness around, which is fair. But for me, like what we've seen, I feel like because he's not been able to adapt with what he's had, he's still stuck with what he's done all the time, and it shouldn't be like that. You know, our team can't defend a lead. We can't do it, you get me? So change it up. Obviously, he did try and change up against Everton in the FA Cup, but that was once. Like it's not been enough times, and I feel like for me, that's why like I can't see this football. You can only see this football when you're winning, and when you're not winning, it's football just becomes. You're not excited. I'm excited for other teams. I'm excited for the top 4 race for the other teams. I'm not excited for my team. I'm not even excited for the cup final. So yeah.
But then saying that, like, one win can change your entire season. If you guys were to be victorious in that cup final, like, I guess you would have a better season than most clubs. Like, think about the Arsenals. If Arsenal was to get knocked out of the Europa League, like, and you guys like end up winning the cup and finishing above them, I feel like that will still be a good enough season for you guys because obviously the last trophy that you guys have won, like it was the like Carabao Cup, so it's not even a case of like you have to win the Premier League in order for you to have a successful season. I just feel like nowadays a trophy is a trophy. So yeah, that's literally all that matters. But
No, no worries. I get where you're coming from, but the heights Pochettino set for this club, like obviously we didn't win a trophy, but the heights he was setting, challenging for Premier League, getting us consistently in the top 4. Like Mourinho had a better transfer window, if you think about it, than Poch ever did have. You get me? So to fail in getting us into the Champions League, I feel like it's criminal right now. To even fail to progress against Dynamo was criminal. You get me? And I feel like, yeah, the Carabao Cup, like obviously, yeah, I'll be happy if we won that. I'll be so happy. But if you ask Tottenham fans, would you miss out on Champions League, missing out on just I don't know, man. It's a bit mad still. Obviously, a trophy, and I get where you're coming from, but I don't want it to be just focusing on finishing above Arsenal and having a better season above Arsenal. I want to be in the likes of City doing well, in the likes of Chelsea, in the likes of Liverpool. They all look like next season they're all gonna try and fight for that title. They're all looking good. I want to be amongst that. Right now, we don't look like we're going anywhere. We look like a declining side. We look like we're losing Kane. We're going to lose our best players, and then what? So it's all a mess, bro.
that's what I'm saying. Harry Kane was really mentioned this week as well. Obviously, I was hearing news that like if you guys don't finish in the top 4 and don't win the Carabao Cup, like he's likely to leave. But I'm not really sure. Like obviously he's 28 years old maybe. So obviously he does have to like think about his own future. But I feel like you guys are like maybe like it's the same as United. Like maybe a few players like missing from like having that like established side. So do you like put all these like losses and these lackluster performances down to like you were discussing like old tactics, like aged tactics? And also, do you feel like you guys like are in need of like a summer overhaul, like maybe like bringing in a couple of like new faces and selling like the deadwood?
Like I feel like our players are still dead. Don't get me twisted. I've been screaming the manager. We don't have a. I don't feel like we're a couple players now from even. I feel like we've underestimated as a team how far we're actually off the top now. I feel like our only star players are actually Kane and Son. Obviously, Ndombele is good as well. Ndombele as well. Apart from that, like I feel like that's our only right now 3. And in touching about, I feel like obviously we need the overhaul as well. We definitely need the overhaul in the summer. Like but the thing is, can we trust this owner to get me this owner? Every time that we've got into a position where we were so close, and we needed to invest literally just to get to the next level. Because these owners, they never backed Pochettino, so it's like, can you trust these guys as well? So I thought it's very scary. There's times at this club.
Yeah, obviously I don't really want to like to put too much pressure on you because obviously you didn't have a really good weekend, but I want to talk a bit about like the players' performances, especially like the likes of Fred, Pogba, and Cavani, especially Mason Greenwood, who had a really good impact with a assist and a goal at the end. So yeah, what did you actually? Obviously, as a Tottenham fan, like you may not want to comment on another team's player, but what did you actually think of like Paul Pogba's performance on the day?
Nah, Pogba. Nah, I've always, you know me, I've always thought Pogba's world class too. I've always thought Pogba's a really good player. And after that, I feel like you guys have to actually try and keep this guy, man. To try and if you're trying to have title aspirations for next year, trying to win the big things, I feel like you need to keep this guy, playing him in a higher role. Like you can see the guy's class. Like the ball he threaded through I think it was Dyer's legs, but with the goal that was chalked off, the first goal, he threaded through. Like you can see his class, like the class that he brings to your team. Even when he shrugged off, who was it? I can't even remember. Yeah, even when he shrugged off, like the guy, I can't lie, I won't lie. I feel like the guy's class, and you guys, if you got titles aspirations, you need to keep players like Pogba, and Cavani played well as well. Obviously, that guy's movement. I didn't even deep like I didn't because I don't really watch like I haven't really watched Cavani over the years. Like I'll be real. But that game I was like, yeah, this guy's got some solid movement still. And Green was a good impact. Oh,
yeah, really good. That's the thing about Paul Pogba though. You made a few good points about him, and I totally agree with you. But that's the thing. You don't know what kind of Paul Pogba you're gonna get like on the day. Like if he turns up, he's just unstoppable, like we saw on Sunday. But then there's some times where he just like he don't really perform at his highest, which we like expect week in, week out. And not every footballer does. Like they're human at the end of the day. But that's and position wise as well. You don't where you gonna play.
Yeah. Wait, do you think because he played high, like he played higher up the pitch? Do you think that's where he needs to be? Because I don't know where he normally plays. Like I swear he normally plays deeper for Man United. I swear he normally plays
usually plays in that double pivot role, like alongside maybe Fred or McTominay. But on Sunday it was like an interchange in between playing on the right hand side and left hand side. Like it was just like interchanging with Rashford. But like obviously going forward, he may perform at that level on like a normal basis. But like I said, going forward, I don't really see him performing like on the left hand, whether it's on the left hand side or the right hand side, because he's not a natural winger. So he may play good on the left in one game and then play bad in the next game, and then it's gonna be back to square one where fans are saying, "Oh, like he's not good enough. That's not his position." So I feel like he needs to actually Oli needs to actually find a position for him. But then obviously saying that, like, let's be real, he's probably not going to take up Bruno out of that cam position. And like we were discussing, he's not really a type of player that's going to sit in front of the back four. You need to have protection in front of the back four for him to like bomb forward, which he likes doing as a box-to-box midfielder. But yeah, I mean, as long as he's performing, like I don't really like care where he plays, as long as he's like in the side, because he is like virtually like
because like if you think about it, even from after all that speculation with his age and all that nonsense and all of that stuff, like he's won you guys games. You get me? That guy's actually stepped up this season, regardless of all of that. And like I just feel like for your sake as a team, if you're trying to like, obviously your aspirations will definitely be trying to trying to get the Champions League, trying to get back in the Premier League race, trying to win that Premier League. And obviously you have you have to be winning, you get me? So I feel like for players like Pogba, world-class talent, definitely you need to keep him, like rather than selling him, because I don't know who you really replace him with. But also I do understand where you're coming from with he's not really always going to play on the left forward role, because obviously that's not really his position. And obviously there are games where, because I've seen it myself, there are games where he does go to sleep, like you won't even notice him.
Yeah.
So obviously he needs to improve that part of his game, but the other part of his game, top quality, man. So yeah.
That's the thing, especially in like as we were talking about Mourinho's tactics earlier, like tactics have changed, like the football's like changed from how it was before. So managers, that's why no matter who you are, or even if you're a world-class player or you've got like attributes of a really good footballer, like if you're not following the manager's instructions, then you're just not going to be in the side. That's why, especially as a winger nowadays, you need to track back. If you don't track back, then that player, another player is going to be playing ahead of you. So obviously that's one thing that I worry about with Paul Pogba as well. He's not the type to like track back, although he's a hard worker. But wait. Before we get, I want to ask you one thing as well. How do you feel about like Rashford's form recently? That Marcus Rashford.
No, obviously he's a top quality. He's a very he's top quality, but just of recent, it's been a bit. You get me?
He has dipped in form, but he is still scoring. He has like 19, 20 goals this season and around, I think, 12 assists. That's like really good. That's 31 goal like involvements. Like that's really good. And he's only 23 years old as well. But obviously he does like frustrate me in games. Like he frustrated me like numerous times on Sunday as well. He just sometimes he just tries too hard. I'm just like, Marcus, just release the ball. he ends up like
Mm.
running into players. Like he done it to Uri like on various occasions. I'm just like, Marcus, like sometimes look up, like look around you, just release the ball, make runs. Because in the first half, I was so frustrated, not just at the disallowed goal, which I want to like talk a bit about, but there was just no urgency. No one was making runs. Like everyone was just static. Like Cavani, like
Yeah,
he's
it was
aging
dead.
as well. Like it was just like lackluster. But then obviously the energy like improved in the second half. But just before we move on, what's your like opinions on the Son issue with the McTominay uh like like it was just I'm just
Bro,
so
for
annoyed
me,
like
for, for me, yeah, like you watching Tottenham, that never happens. Like Tottenham, whenever we're always just like we're getting like I actually slightly agree with what Roy Keane was saying. Like we've always slightly been soft. Like in other years, Son continues chasing after McTominay. That goal stands if he doesn't go down. You get me? It's just a game. You get me? Like he had to do what he had to do, and the goal got disallowed. And I was happy at that time. You get me? Because like, obviously I knew it was soft. Like it was
that's what
definitely
that's what
soft.
that's what
It
I
was
get. That it's not just Son and Tottenham. All footballers are like that nowadays. Like they just get like a little kick or like a little touch, and they just like fall down. Like I even get annoyed at
yeah.
like Man United players when they do that. I'm just like toughen up. Like Harry Maguire, who is 6'5", has done that on odd occasions, and he's nearly like cost us like games.
But
He's done that against
you know,
Everton and West Brom. Like, and those games we drew, like, he just goes down so easy,
you know,
expecting a
you know,
foul.
you know, it is. It's because they know they'll get away with it. These referees, in it, they'll just get away with it. So that's why managers of these days will probably just, especially Mourinho, will probably advise them to do that. Obviously, sounds like that type of player, but you get me. You would advise them. But I get where you're coming from. Like if that was like, I'll be real. If that was against us, boy, I would have been pissed. I can't lie. Like it was so soft. But obviously, because it's my team, like, like I'm happy that he did that. But yeah, but it was a soft goal though, and it was a well worked goal as
It was a
well.
really good team goal as well. That's why I was like even more
Yeah,
disappointed at.
that's how I was like, bro, I can't. I didn't think it was gonna get this. I didn't think it was gonna get disallowed. I was looking at it
Yeah,
thinking, right, there's no way, because it's not like he's intentionally actually. He's hit his face, but you can see because he's tall. He's way taller than Son in it, so he's just
yeah.
like he's almost picked in a way, and then he just caught him in it. But like, it
I
is what it
really
is.
like Son as a human being and as a footballer. As I was telling you, I watched like a documentary of his on Amazon. Like he's a really like
Yeah.
humble human being, but I was just like disappointed with him like on Sunday. But I'm just, as I said, like every footballer does it. It's not just we can't really just be like picking him out for it. But moving on, other games were obviously on at the weekend as well. You had Liverpool Villa, which ended 2-1. Did you watch that game? Did you see how like did you see the goals? Obviously,
Yeah,
Trent scored a last minute winner. Um, yeah, do you see Liverpool going
yeah,
back in the
yeah.
top four? Like,
Like yeah, well, they definitely. Well, Liverpool can definitely string a run of games. They can definitely get in the top four. That game, but to analyze that game, the first goal that got chalked off by VAR was wild. I can't lie.
yeah,
Like VAR is so mad. Like it happens to every team. You get me? You've seen it. My team's seen it now. They're seeing it. Though was really surprised me because I thought they turned out well. Ollie Watkins, you see his goal.
yeah, it's a really good finish.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
good.
So like they surprised me, but Trent Alexander-Arnold again. This
Yeah,
guy,
like that's what I was gonna talk to you about. Like, obviously he's had like issues with his role with England. Like, obviously he weren't in the latest squad. How do you see that right back position like working out, especially for the Euros? Because obviously you have the likes of Reece James, Kyle
mm,
Walker, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who I'm shocked at, who hasn't even got into the
mad,
England squad.
mad. It's actually mad.
Like that,
But
England actually have so many options at right back, but obviously like you can't really have all of them in the team at the same time. Because obviously you have to dish out other positions as well. But do you see Trent Alexander-Arnold at the Euros for England?
well,
And
I
would you
like.
like to see him? Is two different questions.
Right, cool. Like, will we see him? I even watched the Gary Neville, the Carragher debate. obviously Gary's thinking because he wasn't picked in the side, so he probably won't even go Euros and stuff like that. But me personally, I would actually want to see him in the side, just through what he brings going forward. Like his delivery is on point, and like I feel like even if he didn't start, like he would be a player that you could consider to come off the bench and could make an impact, and he could play not only in right back, he could play in midfield as well. Like I don't know if that would happen, but he could, like just the way he attacks and the way he goes forward. I feel like he's superb in that way. Defensively,
he's a liability.
Poor. Yeah, he's a liability. That's why I don't know if he's gonna start. And obviously, the modern day fullback, you're gonna go with either Walker or Trippier that can do both, that can defend or forward. And then when it comes to Wan-Bissaka, he's the standard right back that does his job in defending.
Yeah, 1v1.
Going forward, that's the only wild thing about 1v1. Yeah, you're not getting past Wan-Bissaka, but going forward, what does Wan-Bissaka really bring? Yeah. So the right back is actually so mad. But for me, yeah, I feel like for me, if I was to pick the side, Alexander-Arnold would definitely be in the side, just from the quality he brings in the final third, and he's been showing it. He's showing it, and from what he's won, I don't feel like there's not a coincidence where he's won Champions League, he's won the Premier League. Like the guy's been in his experience can be brought to this Euro side as well. So yeah, that's for me. And where he's gonna go, I don't know. I don't know what Southgate's trying to do.
Yeah, obviously that's down to Southgate. And I actually did watch that Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher argument. But yeah, would you not say maybe like Reece James has an argument as well? Because he's quite stable defensively, and he's good like going forward. So would you not say he's even in for a shout? Maybe even Tariq Lamptey, he might have even been in for a shout, like if he had not got in. They actually really have so many options.
And with Reece James is physical as well. Reece James brings physicality. He's probably way more physical than Alexander-Arnold as well. So there's actually, I didn't even realize how many options at right back. Well, a couple of them are going to miss out. A couple of them are going to be upset. But I don't know. I would still, it's actually tricky.
Yeah.
Who would you start against?
Croatia.
Who would you start against? What's the team we're playing against again? Croatia. Who would you start against Croatia?
Like, I don't want to be biased, but I'm starting Aaron Wan-Bissaka. That's if he goes. I'm starting Aaron Wan-Bissaka because Perisic is a really physical player, and he loves like crossing, and he loves like really like putting the afterburners on. And just defensively, I just feel like Aaron Wan-Bissaka will deal with him 7 times a week, 2 times on a Sunday, like they say. But obviously, saying that, like, Aaron doesn't really offer anything going forward. Like, obviously, he has like had like a couple of assists this season, but obviously, based on going forward, like maybe Trent might be a better option. But then obviously, he is like not really reliable defensively.
So would you go Kyle?
Kyle, if I had to give a name like right now, if I had to give a name right now, it would have to be Kyle Walker. Like, as much as he is a City player, like I would have to say Kyle Walker, because he's just an all-round defender, like good going forward, physical, strong, really good defensively. But then it also depends on what kind of formation Gareth goes with. If he goes with 3 at the back, then obviously it makes sense to play someone like Reece James or even Trent, and then you can just play like like someone like Kyle Walker like in the right centre back role. But yeah, it literally just depends on the formation that Gareth like goes with, really. But yeah, moving on. Palace Chelsea 4-1. Did you look at that game? Did you see the highlights for that?
Palace are dreadful, man. They're secure.
I feel like Palace is one of those teams like on their day, they're just unstoppable. But then on their
mid-table. You know, it's the time period where them mid-table sides are just on holiday now, man. Like, Besides, I don't even know how many points Palace are on. Are they even safe?
I think they're like in the mid-30s, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me check.
Um,
But yeah,
but what do you think about Pulisic? You see, like him reaching the heights of Eden Hazard. Obviously, he was compared to him when he first arrived at the club, but like obviously injuries and dips in form like have just like ruined his momentum like so far. Like, do you see him like passing Eden Hazard
boy,
or even reaching the heights of Hazard?
I don't know. I don't know about, because I remember last season he was playing like on top form. I don't know about the likes of Hazard though, because Hazard was like, I'm not gonna lie, even though I hated that guy, he was on a different quality still. But I feel like if he can be consistent, more consistent, he can definitely reach the top quality form he was at last season. So he just has to be more consistent.
Yeah,
Pulisic.
that's what it'll come down to.
Mm.
And obviously Chelsea are playing in the Champions League as well, which we're gonna get onto in a bit.
Yeah.
But West Ham Leicester, a
But
really
yeah,
really good game. I feel like
your guy,
West Ham were gonna like let that lead slip again. Obviously, like they've done against Arsenal, but that was a really good performance, especially Jesse Lingard, who obviously
bro,
he scored 2 goals. But yeah, like what was your thoughts on that game?
your guy Lingard, man, stepped up again. Nah, I can't lie. You called it though. You called it though. I didn't see it. I didn't see him having this much of an impact still. So
Yeah.
what's the Glazers thinking now then? What's happening? Do you sell him? Do you sell him for a bigger price, or what do you do? Will you bring him back to your
I've
squad
had
for
this
next?
debate with numerous of friends. But what do we actually do with Jesse Lingard? Like, I love Jesse Lingard because he's like Manchester born and bred, but I just want to see him like happy, like playing like football week in, week out. And I just don't see that happening at United at the moment. Like, where do you play him? That's the same. It's the same
Yeah,
thing that we've been talking about with Paul Pogba. Where do you play him? He's not a winger. Like, he wants to play in that number 10, but then that number 10 is already taken up by Bruno. Like, Jesse's not going to get ahead of Pogba, is he? He's not like, we even have Van der Beek as well, but then obviously from his performances so far, like, I reckon the Glazers are like looking at the price tag obviously increasing and probably like cashing in on him in the summer. There was even talks about doing a swap deal with Declan Rice, but you just
I
never know.
swear.
Yeah, you just never know. Obviously, West Ham are trying to
Going back,
create a team around Jesse, but
and yeah, going back to West Ham, like what David Moyes has done,
he's
boy, like
done
that,
a really good job.
well, because I thought they were definitely destined for the drop. Like, even you get me, before the start of the season, that's one team I thought, rah, like David Moyes in charge, just destined for the drop. And for them to be in the top four with like a couple games left as well is a massive achievement for that team. Like,
This
we'll
is
just see if
even
they,
his second stint at the club as well. If you remember, like they sacked him, and then I think he went to Spain to manage Real Sociedad, and then he came back
yeah,
again. So it
that
does say a lot about him. Like, the club does really like believe and trust in him. But yeah, like obviously when he was at Man United, I did like him, but I was just like, this is just too much of a big step up for him. But a club like West Ham is perfect for him. They're just like, these kind of clubs are just like building clubs. But yeah, moving on, Burnley Newcastle. Did you have a look at that game? Obviously, it was a really
I
good
didn't. Yeah, I didn't
victory
watch.
for Newcastle.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't watch the game, but I saw St. Maximum's goal though. That
What a
goal was
player!
mad. That
What
goal
a
was mad.
player!
Bro, he sent. I saw a tweet. Yeah, he sent the cameraman. That was so funny. He sent the cameraman. But
Yeah, I think
he's
I
cold.
saw that as well.
He's cold.
That guy, honestly, like he's as much of an injury prone he is. Like, I think his hamstrings are just made out of like glue or something. Because I don't know, like he's like on his day, he's just unstoppable. I was even having this debate with like my brother. Like, I would actually prefer Saint Maximum to Adama Traore. Like, I actually would. I'd rather have Saint Maximum in my side to
Because he's
Traore.
rapid as well. He's rapid as well. He's rapid
He's
as
rapid
well.
as well, but Saint Maximin can actually win a game for you, like he proved on Sunday. But do you
He's
see
got
like
more
any
goals
big
than
club?
assists in him. He's
Yeah,
got more goals than him.
yeah. Do
Yeah,
you see like any big clubs coming in for him? Maybe in the summer or like a season later. Like, do you see him
like
taking a big move?
definitely, if he continues, I don't know about this summer though. Obviously, all the teams of the whole Corona effect and everything. I'm not sure, but definitely, he's a top class player still. I think he's top class. He's rapid. He can bring you goals and assists, and he's definitely
Yeah.
helped benefit it off. Newcastle definitely benefit off of him. So I feel like if he can continue his form, then definitely.
Obviously, Steve Bruce being a former Red Devil, I just want to see Newcastle stay up. I just want the best for him. But yeah, good luck to all of those sides that we've mentioned. Moving on, the Champions League. Obviously, it's back this week. Did you manage to take a look at the fixtures last week and the results? Obviously, Real Madrid have a 3-1 lead against Liverpool. City won 2-1 against Dortmund. Chelsea won 2-0 against Porto. And the big game, Bayern 2, PSG 3. And how do you see those sides like playing out? And who do you see that progressing?
For me, I think two ties are done. So the first one, I think the Chelsea tie is done. 2 away goals at Portugal, come home now. Obviously, they just don't need to be complacent, and I feel like they can get through that tie. And I feel like the Real Madrid Liverpool ties, even though Liverpool have it in them, they don't have the fans now. It's not like the other year where they were 3-0 down against Barcelona. They had the fans to back them and this and that. They don't have the fans, and it's not the same Liverpool. So I feel like, and the way Real Madrid playing, they just won the El Clasico in the weekend. Like they're on form. So I feel like that tie is done as well. And obviously PSG and Bayern. PSG, that was a big performance. 3 away goals. See Neymar's pass.
And Neymar's pass, Mbappe is finished.
Mbappe is gold.
He's actually too.
He is phenomenal. On a different level. That guy's on a different level, and
he's only 22 years old. Like he's thinking about he's our age, like 21, 22.
I know.
And a quick mention to all the youngsters as well. Obviously, in the Real Madrid Liverpool game, we had Vinicius. City Dortmund, you had Foden and Bellingham. Chelsea game, you had Mount, and obviously the PSG game, you had Mbappe. Is this the new generation? Do you see this like staying the same? Obviously, youngsters are like dominating like world football nowadays. And what's your opinion on those like youngsters I've just like mentioned, the likes of Vinicius, Foden, Bellingham?
Even you just mentioned Bellingham from Birmingham City, like that is like to literally, and I feel like
he had a goal disallowed as well. Did you see the disallowed goal? That was really like stupid of the referee.
Well, VAR just we know what VAR is just this season. Like just there's no words to explain VAR, but like to go from Birmingham to Germany and to like delivering that Dortmund side and being impacting that Dortmund side, you must be top quality, man. Like and like she should definitely be like a thought to go to the Euros as well. I think it's definitely just because he's got that outside experience as well. Like he's played in Germany, so he'll know how they play. I feel like we always send the people that should go to Euros around the Premier League. Like so.
Do you see Bellingham going ahead of the likes of James Maddison and Jesse Lingard?
That's the problem. That's the problem. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna get in ahead of like them. Like you get me. I don't know. Like I feel like he should definitely be a shout, but just because of like the experience he brings from like obviously being in Germany and that, like I feel like that's a different experience. So obviously with Sancho as well. Obviously he doesn't really play well for England, but just because he has that experience and he plays well in the Dortmund shirt, it's a crime that Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher didn't even have him in their squads. I was a bit surprised with that one. But and obviously we've already spoken about Mbappe, Haaland as well. Like the Mbappe versus Haaland, I feel like them two are the new generator, the new top class, the
Phil
best.
Phil Foden scored a win as well.
Yeah, like he had a good game. He deserved the goal.
He had a few sitters, but I guess he's still
Overall, overall he had even though he missed those series, overall he had a good game. Like he deserved the goals. So I was happy for him. I like Foden as a player, man. I actually like the way he plays. Definitely, it's a shout for I think he should go Euros. Definitely. I like the way he plays as well. So yeah. All the young players, now the young talents are man, they're raising their game, man. They're bringing the energy.
While we're on the topic of Europe, obviously you have the Europa on Thursday as well. You had Granada United, which finished in a 2-0 victory for Man United. You had Villarreal 1-0 against Dinamo Zagreb. And then, surprisingly, you had Arsenal 1, Slavia Prague 1. And then, obviously, Ajax lost 2-1 to Roma at home. So how do you see those sides playing out? Do you see United obviously progressing? And, do you see Arsenal maybe crashing out?
United, I feel like I think it's done. 2 away goals. Like they literally just don't need to be complacent now. They have to come at you guys. Literally another goal, and I feel like the game's done. It's killed. I feel like it's already killed already. With Arsenal, I said it on the last episode. You don't know what that team's gonna do, and look how they crumbled and it's 1-1. And if you think about it, when Rangers went there, I think it was 1-1. When Leicester went there, it was 0-0. Neither of those results are taking Arsenal through. Boy, they got to go there now, you get me, and score maybe more than one. They've given themselves a problem. So I don't know how, to be honest,
they
I want
missed
them to
3 really good chances as well. The likes of Lacazette, Saka, Pepe.
That's the only thing. I can't lie. They had so many chances that I'm thinking, will they get those chances again? And if they do, if they take them, they'll go through. But then on the flip side, you get me, like it's Arsenal, and I want them to join us. I want them to join us, man. Our seasons are done. I want them to come and join us. But yeah, being realistic, I don't know if they'll get through. What do you think?
I feel like they are gonna get through. Obviously, we had the Olympiacos game. They were like, I think it was like the same as well. It was like 1-1, like first leg, and then obviously they won the second leg. I just feel like they're gonna get past them. But then saying that, Slavia Prague have beaten Rangers and Leicester at their home ground, so you can't really put a saying on that. But I actually do want to see United Arsenal final. Like I want that so bad. Like so that's why I would want like Arsenal to go through like 2 big English sides in the final. It's better for English football at the end of the day, I guess.
What do you think? So what do you think of your chances of winning Europa? Roma won, didn't they?
Obviously, if United were to get past Granada, they will face the winner of Ajax or Roma, and obviously
Roma beat Ajax.
Roma, yeah, they're winning 2-1 on aggregate at the moment. But then obviously the next game is at the Roma Stadium in Italy, so they have like kind of like home advantage. But I don't know. I'll take anyone. I'll take either side. I guess you can't really avoid teams nowadays because there's no like lucky draws nowadays. But yeah, good luck.
Favorites, though. You're definitely favourites to win.
Definitely favourites. Yeah, I would say so.
Would you be disappointed if you don't win it, man?
Surely. I would be gutted. I would really be gutted because, like we were discussing in episode 1 and 2, like Ollie's been into 4 like different semi-finals, and we haven't made it to one final in like all of those attempts. And honestly, if we don't make it into the final at this 5th attempt, it will just like break me. It was just like, it will just be like really like depressing. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we make it into the final and obviously win the trophy, which will hopefully lead us on into the like going into the next like season with a trophy in our cabinet.
That would be big, man. You get me? If you win the Europa, Ollie will show that he can. Obviously, he's beating. We see that. I'm actually, if you deep it, I saw something with Ollie. He's beating all these top managers like Pep.
Yeah, he's beating Pep Guardiola like 4 times.
So just go.
Yeah, like he's got a good record against like the big managers, but I guess like it don't really matter when you like if you don't win trophies.
If you win the Europa League, I feel like if you win the Europa League as a platform for next season, Champions League, you're not going to want to be in the Europa League again. I'm sure it's hurting you to see your team in the Europa League. Like Man United shouldn't be in the Europa League. Get me? They should be in the Champions League. Like the Manchester United we watched, they were always in the Champions League. You get me? So if you win the Europa League, obviously it's very good though. It's a big it's a good competition. Just get the platform, and then you can go again next season for the Premier League and the Champions League.
Yeah, and obviously good luck to all those sides. And a quick one. We've actually got a special episode coming out soon, so like keep a lookout for that. It involves the ex-footballer. So make sure you stay tuned for that one. But thank you, Jojo, for taking part yet again. Thank you guys for watching. Please do the usual. Please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share. We're out.
I'm wearing my jacket, but boss said I'm still too cold. Man, I fucked your bitch, she filled that from her head to toes. I need this guap,